This is not Star Wars.
How many asylum seekers have gone missing? The Home Office has no data on a third of people. We've got...
The United Kingdom has faced an unprecedented challenge in managing the influx of asylum seekers in recent years. The Home Office itself has admitted that accurate data on the whereabouts of a significant portion of arrivals is lacking, with as many as a third of individuals unaccounted for. This has placed enormous pressure on local authorities, particularly as hotel spaces used to accommodate asylum seekers reach capacity. Reports indicate that over 14,000 individuals currently lack a confirmed location, placing strain on public services, from housing to policing, and raising questions about the effectiveness of existing monitoring systems. The government has allocated significant funds, including billions of pounds, to maintain temporary accommodation, yet gaps remain in tracking, reporting, and providing adequate support for those seeking asylum. Public concern and community tensions. The lack of clarity around asylum data has caused anxiety among communities, particularly in areas where arrivals are concentrated. Local residents have expressed concern about safety and integration, often citing a lack of communication from authorities regarding who is residing in their neighborhoods and how the system operates. Public discourse has sometimes amplified these fears, creating a heightened sense of tension. However, experts emphasize the need to approach the issue with empathy, noting that most asylum seekers are fleeing conflict, persecution, or extreme hardship, and that careful management is essential to ensure both public safety and humanitarian support. Legal frameworks and human rights considerations. One key challenge is the United Kingdom's legal obligations under the Human Rights Act, which ensures that no individual can be deported to a country where they might face persecution, torture, or death. This includes cases where individuals claim changes in personal circumstances, such as religion, sexuality, or other vulnerabilities, which may affect their eligibility for asylum. Critics have argued that this system can be exploited, while human rights advocates stress that the legal framework is necessary to protect vulnerable individuals and prevent abuses. The tension lies in balancing national security and public order with the country's international commitments to human rights and asylum protections. Coordination across agencies. The scale of the challenge requires coordination among multiple agencies, including the Home Office, local councils, police forces, health services, and community organizations. Inefficiencies or gaps in communication can lead to confusion about where asylum seekers are housed, what support they receive, and how to respond if incidents occur. Reports indicate that when large numbers of individuals are unaccounted for, local authorities are forced to react rather than plan proactively. Streamlining data collection, improving tracking systems, and ensuring adequate resources for enforcement and support are widely recognized as essential steps to maintain public safety while fulfilling humanitarian obligations. Media coverage and public perception. Media coverage plays a significant role in shaping public perception of asylum and migration issues. Sensationalized reporting can amplify fear, while responsible reporting can inform communities and provide context about challenges and successes in managing asylum flows. In the UK, coverage has at times highlighted both the strain on public services and the need to protect vulnerable individuals, contributing to a complex public conversation. Social media has also amplified both factual reporting and misinformation, requiring careful scrutiny and communication from authorities to ensure communities understand the realities rather than exaggerated narratives. Safety and policing. Police forces face unique challenges in areas with high numbers of unregistered or undocumented individuals. Without accurate identification or tracking, responding to emergencies, conducting background checks, or preventing crime becomes significantly more complicated. Officers report that resources are often stretched and that proactive policing relies heavily on intelligence that may not always be available. Authorities are working to improve collaboration with local communities to gather accurate information and prevent incidents before they occur. Meanwhile, the public is encouraged to participate in community watch initiatives and maintain open channels of communication with local law enforcement. Community support and integration. Successful integration of asylum seekers requires both support systems and engagement from local communities. This includes access to education, language training, mental health services, and employment opportunities. When these services are under-resourced, frustration can grow on all sides, and tensions may escalate unnecessarily. Community-based programs, volunteer initiatives, and partnerships between councils and charities have demonstrated that positive outcomes are possible when newcomers are supported while communities feel informed and involved in decision-making processes. Fostering trust between residents and authorities is essential for social cohesion and mutual safety. Government response and policy considerations. Government officials have emphasized that the current challenges are not the result of neglect, but of a complex legal and humanitarian framework that requires careful navigation. There are ongoing discussions about potential policy reforms aimed at improving monitoring, increasing efficiency in asylum processing, and addressing legal loopholes while respecting international obligations. Proposals include better data collection, more robust support for local authorities, and clearer guidelines for both asylum seekers and communities. Ensuring transparency in policy decisions and timely communication with the public is critical to maintaining confidence in the system. The role of legal representation. Legal aid and representation are critical components of the asylum process, ensuring that individuals can access their rights and present their cases fairly. Some criticisms have focused on perceived exploitation of legal protections, but human rights organizations emphasize that access to legal advice is essential to prevent unlawful deportations and protect vulnerable populations. Reform discussions often highlight the importance of striking a balance, preventing abuse of the system while ensuring that legitimate asylum seekers are not denied their rights. Technology and identification systems. Modern technology, including biometric identification and digital record-keeping, has been employed to track and manage asylum seekers more effectively. However, challenges remain, particularly when individuals enter the system without documentation or with multiple identities. Improving the use of technology while maintaining privacy protections is an ongoing priority. Initiatives include enhancing databases, improving interoperability between agencies, and developing systems to verify claims and track movements responsibly without infringing on human rights. The human dimension. It is crucial to remember that each individual entering the asylum system is fleeing circumstances that can be traumatic, including war, persecution, and extreme poverty. Policies and public discussions must balance safety concerns with compassion. Community support programs, mental health services, and educational opportunities can help individuals rebuild their lives, reducing the risk of social isolation and potential negative outcomes. Encouraging empathy and understanding within communities strengthens social cohesion and allows for more sustainable management of migration challenges. Education and youth safety. Particularly sensitive is the need to ensure the safety of children and young people in communities with high numbers of new arrivals. Schools have had to implement safety measures, including updated routes and communication plans, to ensure students are secure. Educators play a critical role in both protecting children and fostering integration, providing guidance on cultural understanding and social cohesion. Supporting schools with adequate resources and training is a key element of the broader effort to maintain community safety while ensuring equal educational opportunities for all students, balancing sovereignty and international obligations. The United Kingdom's approach to asylum and migration reflects a careful balancing act between maintaining sovereignty and honoring international commitments. Critics argue that some protections create loopholes, while human rights advocates note that weakening legal safeguards can put vulnerable populations at risk. Policymakers face the difficult task of navigating both domestic expectations for safety and the ethical, legal obligations to provide asylum and prevent persecution. This tension is central to the current debate and underscores the importance of nuanced, evidence-based policymaking. Local community involvement, community engagement is vital in managing the challenges associated with asylum and migration. Local residents, law enforcement, and councils can work together to ensure that public spaces remain safe, that newcomers are integrated effectively, and that any tensions are addressed constructively. Initiatives such as neighborhood liaison officers, community events, and volunteer programs can foster trust and understanding. Building resilient communities requires collaboration, communication, and proactive planning rather than reactive measures. The importance of transparent data. Reliable data is a cornerstone of effective policymaking. Accurate records of arrivals, accommodation, and movements enable authorities to allocate resources, identify risks, and respond quickly to emerging issues. Gaps in data not only hinder operational efficiency, but can also contribute to public anxiety. Investments in improved data collection, secure information sharing, and independent oversight are crucial for maintaining both safety and public confidence. Long-term planning and infrastructure. Temporary accommodation, such as hotels, has played a critical role in addressing immediate needs, but long-term planning is necessary to provide sustainable housing and support. Local authorities require clear guidance, adequate funding, and infrastructure development to transition from short-term solutions to permanent housing and community integration programs. Strategic planning ensures that both newcomers and existing residents have access to services, reduces strain on public systems, and strengthens social cohesion. Policy reform and debate. There is widespread agreement that the current asylum system requires reform to address inefficiencies and vulnerabilities while protecting human rights. Discussions focus on balancing legal safeguards with administrative efficiency, strengthening monitoring mechanisms, and improving the ability of authorities to respond to incidents effectively. Constructive debate, based on evidence and careful analysis, is essential to develop policies that are both humane and practical. Engaging a broad range of stakeholders, including legal experts, community representatives, and humanitarian organizations, helps ensure that reforms are fair and sustainable. Collaboration with international partners. The UK's asylum system does not operate in isolation. Coordination with international partners, including the European Union, other nations, and organizations such as the UNHCR, helps manage migration flows and provides best practice guidance for resettlement and support programs. Diplomatic engagement, information sharing, and joint initiatives can improve the efficiency and fairness of the system, ensuring that the UK meets its obligations while maintaining national security and community safety. Addressing misconceptions and public confidence. Public confidence is strengthened when policymakers and authorities communicate clearly and accurately. Misconceptions about the scale of arrivals, risks, and processes can exacerbate fear and division. Clear messaging about numbers, support programs, and the rationale for legal protections helps communities understand the broader context and reduces tension. Encouraging informed public discourse based on evidence rather than speculation is a critical component of maintaining social cohesion and trust. Supporting vulnerable individuals. Among asylum seekers, some individuals face specific vulnerabilities, including trauma, mental health challenges, or past persecution. Providing appropriate care, counseling, and support services is essential to facilitate integration and reduce the likelihood of negative outcomes. Communities benefit when vulnerable individuals are supported effectively, as it helps prevent marginalization, promotes stability, and strengthens social cohesion. Addressing resource allocation. Effective management of asylum requires appropriate allocation of resources, including funding for accommodation, legal support, policing, education, and health services. Policymakers must balance immediate needs with long-term planning, ensuring that both newcomers and existing residents have access to services. Transparent budgeting, monitoring, and accountability help maintain public trust, and ensure that taxpayer contributions are used efficiently and effectively. Looking ahead, the UK continues to face complex challenges in balancing humanitarian obligations, public safety, and community cohesion. Strategic planning, investment in infrastructure and data systems, and careful policy reform are essential to managing these challenges effectively. Community engagement, transparent communication, and collaboration across government, civil society, and international partners will be crucial to achieving sustainable solutions. By combining empathy with practical governance, the UK can uphold its commitments to human rights while maintaining safety, stability, and public confidence.